The Jersey Devil coaster, located at Six Flags Great Adventure, is, in my opinion, the most underrated coaster I have ridden. And it's not because it's located in a park that already has some really good roller coasters. There's a little bit more to it than you might actually think. Jersey Devil is a single rail roller coaster where literally everybody sits in one single file line, like at a preschool, and you go through the entire course and duration just like that. Nobody's sitting next to you. You're all by yourself in a row of 12. It's a pretty interesting and unique effect for a roller coaster and is the first one, at least, of this layout variety. The first ever RMC single rail opened in Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, as well as one in California's Great America. But then they opened Jersey Devil Coaster in 2021, and then this was the first of this type where this more out and back layout was provided. And personally, I think it is the most underappreciated roller coaster Great Adventure, and a lot of people rank it pretty low compared to other RMC roller coasters. But today, this review is going to be my review of the Jersey Devil coaster and why I think people should give this ride a little bit more attention.
Now get ready, here we go.
Replacing the old Looney Tunes Seaport Kids area, the Jersey Devil coaster resides all the way on the right side of the park past Nitro, in a brand new area called the Pine Barrens, which features a little bit of history on the Jersey Devil and the story inside of the queue line. Usually runs 4 trains at a time, the Jersey Devil coaster is, despite the appeal and the look of it, actually can take a lot of people at a time if it's running at full capacity. Sometimes it runs 3 trains, other times it runs 2 trains, and obviously this past year they are having issues with the trains and the restraints, so they have not been able to fully run this ride at full potential. However, I have seen Jersey Devil run at its full capacity and potential, and let me just say the line for it goes very, very quickly when it runs at that potential. Outside of that, the Jersey Devil coaster is very unique. The ride does not stop moving. And part of that is in due fact that you cannot bring anything on with you. No phones, no wallets. Everything's got to be in a locker. And because this ride does not stop moving, you don't have that time. So you have to make sure that everything is put away in a locker, which the closest set of lockers is right outside the Roaring Rapids. And then you can make your way back over to Jersey Devil to get in line for the ride. Once you get into the station, you are assigned a seat. You are able to ask what seat you want to be in. Like if you want to be in the back, you can tell the operator, but sometimes they'll tell you that you have to board the row that is right there. So oftentimes you just got to go off of that because the ride does not stop moving. It will not stop for you. Just bear in mind of that. The operator will pull down the over-the-shoulder restraint for you, and then you will be ready to go up the 45-degree incline to the top before you drop. Some overall stats for the ride: it is 130 feet tall with a drop of 122 feet, speeds of up to 58 miles per hour over 3,000 feet of track, 3 inversions, and near vertical drop of 87 degrees, and about a minute and 15 seconds of ride time. Once you're given the all clear, you begin the climb up the 130-foot hill. The chain lift for this ride is very loud. You'll actually be able to hear it all the way by where Deja Vu and the Movie Town sign is. Like that's how you know when this ride is in fact running. And also when it goes along the entire track, it is pretty loud. And it's even louder when you're by the area. Nothing wrong with that, but it's actually really cool that they do have a louder ride that is over in that area because Nitro is on the quieter side. And it goes into the woods, mind you. Another thing as well is that when you get some really good views at the top, the lake over to the left, and the rest of the park over to the right, it's a really nice view. But once you get to the crest to the top, you go straight down, as I said earlier, 87 degrees to that drop, 58 miles per hour, 122 feet. It looks intimidating up close because it kind of is. It's a really cool drop. In the back, you were absolutely yeeted over the top. In the front, you get a lot more of the pull from the bottom going up into the next element, which is the Raven dive, or the dive loop. You get some fantastic whip going to the left as you are literally dragged down to the ground on that inversion. As you go into the next element, an airtime hill, you get some really good sustained ejector here depending on when you ride it. This is one of those rides like El Toro that really warms up. And when it warms up, and this thing runs very, very quickly. After that, you hit a zero G stall, which is a first for a great adventure. I really like the stall. Nice hang time as you're going through it. It doesn't feel as fast as a lot of the other elements on this ride. It's not as tight. It's very drawn out. Then you go up into the turnaround, which is more like a crow's nest, as it's called. And you get some really nice G's. You're pulled down into your seat throughout this whole thing, and the drop off of it is even more satisfying. It is a fantastic drop off that gets some really great ejector airtime going into the final inversion to zero G roll. Again, nice relaxing element as you get into the mid course break. Now, back a long time ago, the mid course break used to actually slow the train down, but now it does not do that anymore, and you just plow right through it. And the drop off from the mid course is fantastic. Again, if you're in the back row, you get absolutely flung over this hill as you go into this overbank curve. It is amazing, and that curve is really, really cool and sustained. And then you go into like the little trick tracks as you make your way to the brake run. Really great airtime, great inversions. This is one of those great all around coasters. Only 48-inch height requirement you have to be to ride this thing, and it's very, very good. It gets through the elements very quickly. All the elements hit. Everything's really cool. The statue in the front is awesome. I mean, everything about this ride is really, really awesome and kick butt. For someone like me at the current moment who has not ridden any other RMC except for the Jersey Devil coaster, I am still happy to this day that this turned out to be my first one, and and will always remain that way. The Jersey Devil coaster really was a special ride for me. First time I rode it, I immediately had to get a shirt for it, and I still have it to this day. This ride, created by Alan Schulke, I mean, is just unreal. This is a ride that truly is a part of the top five of Six Flags Great Adventure and deserves a lot of respect. Ever since that the mid-course thing stopped and they made changes to make the ride run faster, this ride has really just been relentless every single season. When it is boiling hot, ride it. It rides insanely fast. And it really is a fantastic accompanying roller coaster that does everything: inversions, airtime, speed, everything. This ride is a full package attraction, and it is a very satisfying ride. It is aggressive, don't get me wrong, and personally, I think it is rather smooth, even though you can really feel the grooves between each of the tracks. Outside that, this ride for me is a must ride. You have to check out Jersey Devil anytime that you're at the park. It for me is worth using a Flash Pass for and is really worth riding when it is open on your visit. If you guys like this review of the Jersey Devil coaster, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and always thank your write ups. And have a fantastic rest of your day. Goodbye.
Here we go.